but we are patient with action and impatient with outcome, meaning we're really slow on making it happen. What's going on, guys? I keep getting interrupted making this video. It's funny, we're talking about patience and I get a phone call every 30 seconds while trying to make this video, but that's okay. We have to be patient with making this video, I suppose, as well. Today, I'm talking about patience, though, and what that looks like. And living in a world where everything can happen immediately, right? You can press a button on your phone and immediately food can show up, or you can press a button on your phone and or look up something, for example, like a Walmart in Nebraska, right? Or you can look up something in the UK, right? You can be in America and look up something in the UK or something in Africa, right? The idea is that we immediately can have action to everything. We can ask a simple question: why is the sky blue? And immediately have results for why the sky is blue. The idea, though, is that certain things take time. Certain things don't happen right away, and sometimes those things are more valuable. And when we're patient with things, we can be a little bit more clear on what's important, and we don't necessarily become impulsive and make a decision that might negatively affect us in the future. So, for example, when we are patiently waiting for example, one of the things I really want is to be able to buy a house. I really, really want to be able to buy a house. However, the time right now in the market is really poor, right? Interest rates are super high. Houses are really expensive. Now, some might argue that houses might continue to go up, and let's not go talk too much about that. That's a whole nother thing. But the idea is that we wait for time or opportunity to present itself in a way that makes sense, right? We have to wait for opportunity, right? The same thing trying to find a relationship, right? Or friendships. Those are maybe things that we want to happen, but we don't necessarily get to choose exactly when those happen, right? We can put ourselves into positions to try and make that happen. For example, if we want to buy a house, we can take the action to go onto websites, for example, Zillow or Redfin or like, it doesn't matter, to be able to try and find an opportunity that might make sense. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that that opportunity is going to happen. It doesn't mean that if we socialize with a bunch of people that we will make friends. But what we're doing is we're putting ourselves into a position to try and make that happen. However, being patient means that those things don't necessarily have to happen on our timeline. Sometimes you have to wait, right? And all good things take time. So I was listening to a video, though, and it was basically talking about if we want to take action, right? If we want to become, you know, a social media influencer, if we want to become, you know, a bodybuilder, or we want to become, you know, a millionaire, or we want to open our own business, or we want to buy a house. These things take action, right? And so I think we are, as a community, really, really impatient with action, right? We want to see results, right? Or we're really impatient with results, meaning we want a house, right? We want a nicer body. We want to lose weight. We want to do these things, but we are patient with action and impatient with outcome. Meaning we're really slow on making it happen. If we want to be a social media influencer, we're not posting every single day. We're not providing value to a viewer, right? We're just making videos. We're just doing these things because we feel like, you know, whenever we have time. I'm going to trade stocks. I'm going to look for a house when I have time. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not just going to do and post videos every single day for years at a time, hoping that something happens. Because number one, if we're providing value, if we are doing something, if we're consistently in the gym, we will see outcome eventually, right? We will see the result that we're hoping for eventually, but that takes patience. And we don't want to be patient with that, but we are patient with our action. I want to be a professional football player, but I don't want to show up to practice every day. I don't want to show up to practice and then go run after, right? Because that's not as fun. And we don't see outcome from running every single day after practice. We don't see staying later working on footwork, or we don't see outcome if, for example, we want to be a dancer for the ladies or guys, whatever, right? We don't want to go to practice every single day, and then we don't want to stay later, and we don't want to watch YouTube videos to improve, and we don't want to ask for criticism on how to get better, because that's not the fun part. The fun part is becoming a professional dancer, professional athlete, bodybuilder, to lose some weight because we're working out. We don't want to eat right because that food doesn't taste good. A chicken salad doesn't taste as good as a hamburger, or as good as a slice of pizza. However, compounding these things and being patient for weeks at a time, we will begin to see results. But we don't want to be patient in those moments. We want to be impatient, right? And we'll be patient with showing up every day. We'll be patient with ourselves when we don't eat the salad, when we go out for a burger, we go out and grab an ice cream cone. We're patient there. But we're not patient with when we ate ice cream 2 days, and then we had a couple slices of pizza, and then we had a burger, and then we went out to lunch because a friend came in town, and then we, yada, yada, yada. We have to learn to sacrifice now for a result that comes later that we don't necessarily get to see. And now that is not always fun, but I think if we can encourage ourselves to be patient, right? The same way if we look at a lion, right? And we want that meal, and we really, really care about that meal, we're willing to be patient then, right? That lion is willing to be patient for that meal because it's so hungry, and that hunger is driving the patience, meaning that lion is hungry. So instead of jumping out of the grass 100 yards from that buffalo, it's going to stalk very, very slowly and take a little bit more time so that lion can get a little closer to that buffalo and jump out 30 feet from that buffalo compared to 100 yards so that it can get that meal, right? So it has a better probability of being able to achieve that. And the other side of that is that lion, there is no 100% probability that these things are going to happen. But what we can do is we can put in the work and put in the energy to hope to be able to achieve that action, and to hope to be able to achieve that outcome, right?